Hey everybody, how's it going? John L here. Tonight we are playing Fester's Quest. So, the reason why I want to play this game is my buddy had it when I was a kid. I never owned it until recently. And I liked it because initially I thought it was similar to Blaster Master, at least like the overworld stages and stuff. And after playing through I realized it's not, but it is still kind of a fun game. I think Fester's Quest kind of took place in late 80s, early 90s. There was this resurgence of Addams Family stuff, and I'm not sure if this was before, after, or during the first movie. There definitely was an Addams Family game that was based on the movie. And I'm not sure where this kind of fit in, but I thought it was like a fun game, kind of to begin with. We never really got that far just because it's kind of a long game and kind of a challenging game if you don't really know what to do. Fester's weapons really kind of suck, and you kind of have to learn that you need to upgrade them, and you kind of have to learn what you need to do in this game to really have like success. There's a lot of these ridiculous respawns, kind of like Ninja Gaiden, but I don't know, as bad sometimes, not as bad sometimes. It really depends. I would say the enemies just take like a lot of hits. This is a game, yeah, and so, you know, you play as Uncle Fester, and, aliens come by, and I think, I'm not quite sure. You know, to tell you the truth, I didn't actually, think to look up the story. Probably should've. Anyways, I know it involves aliens, and they either steal something or do something, and, I don't know, the family's still around. You see them in the game, and you get weapons and upgrades from them and stuff like that. So I was gonna say they kidnapped the family, but apparently that's probably not the case. I don't wanna lie about that. So, anyways, aliens do something, and you know, it's up to Uncle Fester to, you know, go ahead and take them on. So when you start out, it's one of the games where you're really weak. Fester can only take 2 hits. Whenever you die, you come back to this starting point, and you know, as you progress through the game, there's a couple places where you can get a couple more hits. You know, there's no experience or anything like that. It's, you know, you get items by kind of visiting the other family members. So there's vice grip, potion, missile, TNT, noose. I'll talk about all that stuff as we get them. The stuff that you actually do get from killing the enemies, you get keys, which you'll need to open doors to buildings. The buildings are where you're going to fight enemies, or fight the bosses. Except for the first building, which is where you're going to get a piece of life, which is really weird. Use the light bulbs to traverse the sewers, and the game is really interesting. It looks like it's open world, but it's really not. It's really super linear, and you use the sewer to kind of get from like these blocked off restricted areas to other areas. So you definitely need light bulbs, money. You find hot dog stands along the way, and you can use, I think it's 5 money, whatever, dollars, to refill your life. So those are the things that you pick up from enemies, and then as you can see up in the top right, there's a gun and whip. Fester starts with the gun. It's really weak. First thing what you want to do is just go back and forth, literally killing these things, and getting gun icons. So you can ignore like the green and the orange for the keys, and the money makes no difference, but gun and whip icons come in red and blue. and red will actually decrease the strength of your weapon, which makes this game kind of a pain in the butt, because you will accidentally pick up these things without meaning to, which adds like a lot of hassle to the game. And the gun is already weak enough. I think the game actually gets quite a bit easier once you're able to get the whip and level it up. So, yeah, first thing what we're going to do is just kind of keep walking back and forth and powering up Fester's gun, just so we can kind of get that out of the way. His gun has these goofy like trajectories and patterns. I'm not sure why, like they could have done so many other things. So his gun actually makes the game a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. And one of the reasons why you'd want to get the final level gun is that like it actually shoots straight, which is, you know, you wouldn't think you'd have to, you know, work to get a gun that shoots straight, but welcome to Fester's Quest. So, yeah, okay, cool. So I think we need one more. Yeah, like once you get to this needle gun thing. So this isn't a bad thing also because, you know, you go back and forth and you pick up keys and you get your light bulbs and your money and everything like that, and it kind of just eliminates having to do all that stuff like later on in the game as well. So, and it doesn't really take that, well, it can take long, but for us, it seems like it's not so bad right now. Knock on wood. And this is like a really good spot to do it. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty okay. Yeah, just avoid those reds. So again, I thought this game would have more in common with Blaster Master. I mean, definitely not. They're both made by Sunsoft, and you know, this has that top-down look, like from the overhead levels of Blaster Master. So you're kind of blocked off here. And it doesn't have any of the side-scrolling levels or anything. But it's not bad. Okay, cool. So we have the final gun, and see, it's wide and it shoots straight, and supposedly it's the strongest gun that you can get, which is still really weak. So once we have that, we're just gonna make our way down. So there's those, I don't know, like molds or whatever these pink things are, and those are easy to kill. Mostly in the opening of the game, we're going to be fighting frogs. So if you keep going down, it's just a dead end too. You can go further to the right, and there's just nothing there, and then the screen literally just ends there. That's two literallys, guys. Okay, and there's these guys who kind of shoot out flies or something. So you don't want to get hit by the flies, because if you do, they'll slow you down. And that's actually where the vice grips come in. So we're making our way up to the first two mansions. So we'll get the TNT from Pugsley, and we'll get the vice grips from Wednesday. So there's a hot dog stand where you could refill your life if you needed to. So I kind of find this as one of the harder parts of the game, only just because you have like so little life. And eventually when you get to fighting some of these frogs, see, like, you get into these weird situations where there you go, and you only need to get the item once, so we'll have like the full complement of TNT. So TNT you can drop, and it's a stronger damage than your junky weapons. But anyways, like what I was talking about, so there are these spots where you can stand and the enemies will just start reappearing like no man's business. and they just won't stop, and they'll just kind of like overwhelm you and swarm you, and it's just a really weird thing. I'm not quite sure if it's by design or just some kind of quirk or something, but sometimes it can really be kind of annoying and a hassle, because you can get stuck in the sewers and that happens and you'll just die. So anyways, we're gonna go into the sewers. So like I mentioned, for the initial area, we're kind of stuck there, and the way you get to like different areas, like everything's blocked off by either some kind of, you know, ditch in the road or water or trees or something. So you need to go into the sewers, and when you're in the sewers you need to use a light bulb. So the light bulb actually lasts the whole duration of while you're in the sewers. So the weird thing about this game is also the pacing is really funky. There is like a lot of stuff going on. Let's see, you can just kind of ignore these guys. Oh, we went the wrong way. Oh, okay. Well, we don't have to worry about getting red whips right now because we don't have the whip. We're gonna get that later from Morticia. So in the beginning of the game, it's like the developers were really enthusiastic about it, and like the sewers take like a long distance to travel. And there's more stuff in the overworld to do. And later on, when we get near the... I think I'm going the wrong way, but... Oh. Yeah. Later on in the game, things get really short. Like, the distance between buildings, which are essentially the boss fights, takes like no time. So you can see this is a green frog. I think they're the second strongest frog. There's pink frogs too that shoot. The green ones lick, but they just take so long to kill with the stupid gun. And if you get into one of these situations where they just start spawning like crazy, it's just terrible. So yeah, you kind of want to be careful about like how far you back down, just because they'll just... I think they respawn and reappear. I'm not sure if there's a finite amount that need to spawn or whatever. So right now we have like none of the cool items like the invisible potion and the potion, which will really help. Alright, I just dodge these guys. So those guys are super annoying when you just want to pass them and you have the gun. But if you need to get your gun or get whip power-ups or something, those are the guys you want to just shoot forever and collect a whole bunch of power-ups. And they can be killed. It just takes forever. So I'm definitely going to be taking breaks. Alright, cool. We can get out. So this part is pretty hard because if things don't go quite right, you're going to end up, yeah, fighting these pink frogs. And you just don't want none of them right now. So we're going to go in this way, and we can get the potions from Thing. Cool. So this helps a lot. You get 5 potions. What they'll do is restore your life. So now it kind of sucks. We can come back to this place We might have to like blow a potion if we get hit or something like that. Because we're gonna make our way up and try to get another hit point. Alright. Yeah. So these guys are super easy to kill when you have the whip, and that's kind of why the beginning of the game sucks also. Because I mean, we have the maxed out gun, it's just incredibly weak. Yeah, and God forbid you get like surrounded by enemies. Okay, and these guys kind of suck. They kind of jump away. Okay, cool. So in this building we don't fight a boss, but we will get an extra health, which is super cool. Alright. So now we can make our way to the hot dog stand. And power up. So I don't really end up using... Oh man, screw this. These guys like reappear. See? It just becomes such a hassle. I just want to get a damn hot dog. Alright. Cool. Yeah. Alright. And hopefully we don't run into any pink guys. Oh. Speaking of the devil. So you don't want to be straight in front of them because that's where they shoot. Ridiculous! Alright, never mind. You can dodge them too, which is what we're probably gonna have to do. Okay, so we want to make our way up this way. And I believe we can get the invisible potions from Thing also up here. So yeah, and believe it or not, you can see, you know, we have almost all the items. We just need the nooses and the TNT. So... except for the other buildings. Kinda set. Alright, I think we go down this way. Yeah. And back into the sewers. So if you kind of went a little bit further up, oh man. You just run into like another dead end. so just be careful about where you're going. These guys suck. Oh man. You can generally outrun a lot of this stuff. So yeah, I guess this is kind of like what Blaster Master would be if it was just all top down. It's kind of a weird idea to make a purely Fester game. I mean, I didn't know Uncle Fester was, you know, super popular. Oh, these things suck. Yeah, alright. Oh. And I think when you shoot them, you stun them. Oh, dude. Great. This is a... You just don't want to be... Like, the gun is just so terrible. Because it's, like, barely, like... Oh no! Shoot. Okay, I think we're okay. Watch me get killed by something. I think we need... no. So all the mazes are on like one plane. And they're all kind of like connected. Actually, I'm gonna use a potion. Because I don't want to die. So what if you beat the boss, you get all your items refilled. So we should be okay. Alright. So the game has these 3D mazes. Alright, that's a circle. Yeah, okay. But there's nothing in them. It's just weird why they did this. Like, they didn't necessarily need to do it like this, but... Okay, so, anyways, you just come to the only door in the building, and then you go in, and then it's a boss fight. Alright. Do a potion. So it's that one, and alright. Right. You know what? You can just use invisible potion. I'll wail away. Let's use a regular potion. There we go. Alright, kind of sloppy, but... So you have to dodge his tentacles, and I know you have to go back and forth and stuff. So anyways, yeah, as you can see, now we have a piece of the clue, and then, what is it? All of our stuff is refilled, so... we can move on to the next stage. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break, so I will see you guys in a little bit.